Okay, I am on the Gainesville bathroom. Unfortunately, I don't have a before and after to show you because they've already done the tear out for this bathroom. Almost all the tear out. There's a tub over there that I have to take the existing tile off of the tub face and deck and the backsplash because that's going to get redone. But as you can see, it's builder's grade tile once again. In this case, it's 8x8. The 8x8 tile is sanded grout over here on this little triangular section, and then they went, of course, to non-sanded grout over here. And it's just basic, as I said, builder's grade tile. This is what it is. And I think this is the edge of the shower door where the shower was. So the shower was over here, and then this tile set up like that, and you had the shower door that came up here, so you can kind of get an idea of how it looked. This just white standard tile with two shower heads, one on the left, or one on the right, one on the left, although the heads are different, aren't they? But anyway, the two fixtures will stay. This customer decides that they don't want to spend the extra money for new fixtures, since these ones are relatively new anyway. So let me back up and explain what had happened. Apparently, the customer ended up with some type of leak. There was some water damage that had gone on. Then, in addition to the water damage, once they started doing the tear out, they realized that there was a bunch of wood rot right around where the curb was at, which is almost always 99% of the time where wood rot is going to occur, right there at the curb. And right there you can see how badly that 2x4 down there is disintegrated, like, you know, in half. And then of course the subfloor is pretty bad too, where the curb was. I haven't actually taken up he screwed down this plywood on here, so I haven't taken it up. But obviously where we were dealing with on the curb was in line with where the rot is, so it'd be right across here. I don't have a clue as to how the shower pan, you know, was set. If the shower pan had an issue, which it looked like possibly it did because there was some wood rot on the subfloor, which shouldn't be there. Shower pans rarely, extremely rarely leak, if ever. If they're going to leak, they're going to leak, you know, the first day or week. So I get a lot of calls, my shower pan is leaking. No, your shower pan isn't leaking. You have an issue with your curb. That's where all the wood rot's going to be. And or the knee wall. And then you can see where the knee wall was because there was a short knee wall that bumped out. There was a vanity right here, a long 5-foot vanity. So the knee wall bumped out about here, and then you had a shower door. So obviously you had knee wall damage. The knee wall damage most likely caused all this. Well, the knee wall was contiguous with the curb, so you know, obviously you had 2 points of entry for water to penetrate through, and that's where I always see the damage. You know, the knee walls and the curbs. Never ever ever the shower pan unless it was a new install. So that's kind of what's going on here. There's a garage right below here, so for safety purposes, the customer, once they did the tear out, the shower pan and the tile and all that stuff, they went ahead and put this plywood down here because obviously there's a big, almost a 2-foot gap by 5 foot long going on there. So, you know, that's the reason that's there. But what I'm going to end up doing is rebuilding these rotted 2x4s, you know, scabbing some new ones in there, and then of course scabbing in this 3/4 ply into that hole there so that we have a floor back again. Again, I'm not doing any of the plumbing insofar as this pipe goes, you know, the copper pipe. You know, I'm just going to leave it as is and build around it. Same on this side. Now, having said that, you know, they bumped this wall out, and one of the reasons they bumped this, there's a lot of angles up here, it's crazy, but one of the reasons they bumped this wall out is because apparently they had a plastic shower pan that fit in here, and the plastic shower pans are only yay big. So, you know, they had to deal with a 5-foot pan. It didn't come in a 5.5 or 5 1/8 or whatever. So the whole purpose behind this wall, if you look inside here, there's nothing there. It's just, you know, three 2x4s put together. Same on this side. You know, you got, this is just all bumped out for the purposes of depth, so that they can actually get the shower pan in here and reduce the depth on here. But I'm going to increase the depth. I'm going to take at least this 2x4 out, get rid of the sheetrock up here, take this 2x4 out, and that one and this one and get it at least to that point, you know. I'm going to try and get it out to that point. I'm going to see how it goes. But until I really get into it, I don't know. But at the very minimum, get that one out, which means I have to go out in the garage and replumb this fixture going that direction and up into that 2x4 right there. So that's really the only change I'm going to make on the plumbing, other than putting in a new shower drain, because the old one is somewhere around here, but I don't use old ones. I always put a new one in. So the P-trap and the shower drain will get changed out and I'll get center. Unfortunately, I'm kind of in a fix as far as getting a larger shower, because the old vanity, even though it was damaged and thrown away, is getting rebuilt as we speak. So I wanted to bump this out, get rid of this mirror, and bump out this shower, at least, you know, till there, get rid of that light switch thing, and get another, you know, 4 or 5 square feet out of the shower. But I'm precluded from doing so because the customer is going to put the old vanity, not the old vanity, but the new vanity back again. So it's not going to be any wider or any deeper. I'm just basically here to rebuild everything with a different tile. Getting back to this was again a vanity just like this. It was most likely pressed wood. You have a face, the vanity face, that goes onto the vanity itself, and then the inside of there is most likely pressed wood. So what happened inevitably is that when they had this water damage, it damaged the vanity to such a point where it couldn't be salvaged. The face is around here somewhere. He must have put it in the garage, but there's a drawer that goes under here. And so this is just like a sitting area to put on your makeup and stuff like that. And then the vanity itself is about 42 inches wide, and the standard 28 or whatever inches deep. That is being made by a carpenter. So once the vanity is done, the face that he saved, which is that face right there, well, not that particular one, but the face that he saved will get attached to the new vanity. And then this is a ledger board to hold the old top. This is a cultured marble top, and it's 5 foot long. One sink. Obviously this is the right side, and so that side there's a sink. The right side will again go back on, rest on top of this, and go all the way across to where the knee wall was, and the sink will be where it's at right here. So nothing will really change on that, except that he'll get a new vanity. This will be all taken out. As I said before, all this tile is going to go away. In fact, that's pretty much the demo that I have to do to this bathroom, is get rid of all this tile, and then we'll wrap this whole thing and put a backsplash on it with the new tile. That vanity will stay. Nothing's going to change on that. Same fixture and everything stays there. And then you have the toilet closet, and the toilet closet obviously has tile on it, which I'll take out the toilet, and most likely put that toilet back after this is all tiled. So that's basically it. And then a transition strip, you know, where the carpet is going to go right at the jamb. And the tile, which is somewhere over here, is a porcelain tile, but it comes in different colors. It comes in different colors, even as a non-natural stone. They're trying to make this look like a natural stone insofar as having a kind of a bluish and grayish and brownish. There's actually a more profound color system going on than you would think, which I'm not really feeling, but it's not my bathroom. So these are 12 by 12 or maybe 13 by 13 tile that are all the different colors that this is. This is 2 by 2, obviously. This will go on the shower floor. It will also be 2 strips or maybe 3 that will be the border. That'll be about eye level. And that's what's going on there. Again, there's no particular pattern, so when I start throwing it up, it's going to look like a checkerboard, something like that. There is a bull nose, a matching bull nose, that's also different colors like that. So that'll be interesting. The bull nose obviously will go up to the ceiling on the right side and the left side. I think I'm building a niche. I think the niche is going to go on the back wall. So the border will also be, or the bull nose will also be used to frame out the niche that I almost always do, and I believe I'm doing it on here also. So that's the tile I'm dealing with. This tile will also go on the floor, on the entire floor. It will also be used on the tub area as well as the backsplash. I think it'll be one tile up and then the bullnose will sit on the top of it. That's how it's going to look. And this is day 1, and I anticipate this probably being about 7 days. 6 to 8 days really. Probably 7 though. And so I'm going to get started on this little tear out that I have to do, and then once I do that I can start the build back process. So I should be tiling probably in the next 4 days, either 3 or 4 days. I should be ready, and I will be back at that point. Okay, so this is the bathroom completed, the Lake Lanier bathroom. If you recall, this had carpet in here, and apparently they had some type of leak, major leak actually, that destroyed not only the carpet but some subfloor in the shower area and this vanity over here. So anyway, I'm going to start with the floor. This is a checkerboard type of design. There is actually no design for this. They just wanted it to look like slate, and it's a porcelain tile, so not my cup of tea, but then again, it's not my bathroom. Toilet closet area, which used to have tile, but took that out, put it in the toilet back. And then of course this area all had carpet in it, so no more carpet. I think there was tile right in front of there too, took that out. And we got the same type of porcelain tile 2x2 going on right here with the bullnose. And the same type of tile with bullnose on top for the backsplash of the tub on the inside as well as the outside of this knee wall right there, and then over here on the inside as well. And this vanity has a little story to it, because all I had to start with was the face. You know, I had literally the face of this opening, these 2 doors in the drawer, which are 2 separate pieces that join together. Didn't have the vanity. The vanity itself had to get made by a carpenter friend of mine. And so it turned out pretty good. We got the new plumbing put in. Holes are a little bit big, but you know, so it is. But that's the new vanity, and I managed to plan this out exactly so that this, the fake marble vanity top fit on there perfectly from end to end, because there was a knee wall here, but it wasn't quite as long out. The knee wall was long gone when they did the demo. So I had to build this knee wall with the thought in mind that this vanity top is going back. So the planning that went into this is actually very exact. Into the mirror, you see there's very little room where the mirror is. So the vanity top actually got put in up like that, up toward the mirror, and then set down again. And it fit in perfectly, and the customer saved the backsplash from the top, the vanity top, and so I glued that back in. And it worked out really well. Surprised even myself. And there is the shower. Now, if you recall, there was a lot of, well, wood rot, but there was also no floor over here. The wood rot was all along the side here. I guess that's where they had the water issue at, so all that wood got taken out and replaced. New floor got put in, new drain, and we went with the old fixtures, both the right and the left side fixtures. So I built the shower around those. There was a fake box over here, and the reason for that box is because the old shower had one of those plastic tub bottoms, you know, the fiberglass bottom that was only yay big. It went out to a certain length, and so builders came in, built this fake box that came out about, so box 9 inches or so, in that we got rid of the box floor. There's no point having it there since we'll build a shower there, and then to rework furthest from the wall in the new fixture part backward, plumbing 8 or 9 inches, or to get them, and that's what I would go back. That fixtures are back in function. So, and the same can, of course, as I know, I did an addition strip here. Red wall and used bullnose. You notice on the right side I had bullnose other than all the way up. I've got the same side nose going on both in the knee walls and the top of the tub there. I didn't do bullnose over here specifically because there's a switch over here. The bullnose would have been out to here. I would have had to cut the light switch cover down, and that didn't make any sense. I can't move it because there's a 2x4 sitting here. So rather than do that, I just put a transition strip in. Same one I do at the entrance of here. It's an aluminum transition strip that goes from top to bottom, and so that capped it off right there. And that's the only little change that I made in this. Otherwise, everything went as planned. Same 2x2 that you saw with the design over here and the bull nose got integrated into the niche, which I always do these niches, and the 2x2 and the bull nose to frame it out. And then of course the knee wall got bull nose on the inside and the outside as well. And on the curb top, the customer declined to use the contiguous curb tops that I like so much. They only have two colors. They have the white, which is kind of like this, and then they have more of a like a travertine type color, which would have been something close to that, which I think would have worked well, either one of them, because you have white here and then white would be down there, but he declined. So he wanted to use bull nose for the curb top, and although I don't like using them because of all the lines that you see, the grout lines, I did it anyway. The curb top is still sloped in, as is the knee wall, and as is the niche, so water will fall off of all three of those. That's it. This is probably close to about 2 weeks to get this done. There are a lot of, not complications, but a lot of details, a lot of stuff that had to be adhered to, including this cabinet and doing all that work, which took up more time. These knee walls over here were never tiled. They were only tiled on the sides and on the inside. That I tiled the outside on both of these. Took up a little bit more time. I dropped my camera. Took up a little bit more time, but normally that's not something I would have done. That's what they wanted, so that's what they got. We didn't do anything of that vanity at all. And that's it.